Hello again, it's Casey from Retroactive Arcade. I'm going to talk today a little bit about some Ultimarc products that we carry and also heavily promote. They are some of the better products out there for DIY arcade guys. With that being said, I'm going to unbox a couple things and I'm going to go over some of the simplicities of it. That's basically what I'm going to touch base today. I guess I'm going to start doing a series of how these things actually work. So I'll go through how it works on the computer, how to set it up, how to set up LED blinky, that kind of a thing. If you're unfamiliar with it, if you just Google LED blinky and Ultimarc, you'll pretty much figure it out. Basically what I want to do is show their plug-and playability, how easy it is to set up from a DIY standpoint or viewpoint, that basically right out of the box it's almost just plug it in and go. It's nothing to be too crazy scared of, that type of thing. The scary part is the painstaking amount of time and patience it takes to actually build your arcade game list and stuff, and program all your buttons and do all that stuff and hyperspin GameX, whatever. That's the big hurdle. The hardware itself is pretty straightforward. There's so many diagrams, so many people to help you, like myself or anybody else out there. That stuff goes pretty smoothly, and I'll give you a quick little view of how and why that happens right now. So basically I'm just going to show you, a lot of people are familiar with the iPac 2. It's not that new, but it is solid and it's bulletproof. So as it sits right now, just to show you a quick reference, we have wiring diagrams on the website and stuff, so if this really intrigues you, you can go to our website, go to the iPac spot for content on our website, and there'll actually be a wiring diagram there you can download and stuff. You can find blown up versions of this all over Google and stuff as well, but as you can read on there, it says like one down, one up, left, right. Everything on 1 means player 1. Everything on 2 is obviously player 2. So it tells you start, up, down, right, left, shoot, fight 1, that kind of a thing. Now, what I want to talk about is its plug and playability. So basically your pins here, you can read inside there. So what that does is it adapts to a spinner or a trackball that Ultimarc provides. Okay, now what that means is you just literally take a trackball from Ultimarc, and it has a harness that's already pre-made, and it comes out and it plugs onto those pins. When it plugs onto those pins, you have a USB that comes out of this board. This board being an arcade encoder board or whatever, what it does is it translates these button inputs as keystrokes for a keyboard. So with the trackball, it'll also set that up and everything else so that it works like your mouse. Or a joystick or your keyboard itself, that kind of a thing. And it all just connects through one USB connection, which makes it beautiful. So I'm going to unbox a couple things to give you that kind of idea of what I mean by plug and playability. I've taken the plastic bag off this, but that's all I've done. So it's literally as simple as this. This trackball itself, I ordered it with the USB PCB connection on it. So basically all I would do is, got one loose here, all I would do is just take the USB right out of the box and plug it into here, plug it into my computer, and it's going to read this as a mouse right out of the gate. It might take 2 or 3 seconds to download any firmware software for it, but it should just recognize it right out of the gate, all the way up to Windows 10, and I think all the way down to Windows XP or Me or something as well. So that's one way to connect the trackball. Say you don't want to do the iPac 2, but if you want to go for the whole thing, so your buttons, your trackball, your spinner, everything connected all through one thing, all you need is one iPac. You take and disconnect this little green board. That's the made-up piece that they make to translate it to the USB, and you just plug it into where it says trackball on your iPac 2. Okay. So you would do that, mount your trackball, mount this as close as you can to it, obviously because the harness is pretty short. Bam, plug it in, it works just like a mouse right out of the gate. So that's as easy as 1, 2, 3 for plug and playability. It does not get more simplistic than that. You don't have a ton of wires, you don't have a bunch of stuff. Then you just need your like wires that you either make. We sell pre-made ones that are 1 meter long that have the 1.87 connector on it. That'll plug just into any type of micro switch and stuff, which makes it that much easier. These are all screw down, no soldering, no nothing. all you need to do is just screw this board down to the wood and then plug your wires into there and then run them to the corresponding button or direction on your joystick, that kind of thing, up, right, left, or down. That's how simple this thing is. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. Okay, so with the trackball, it connects nice and simple, like I showed you, but that kind of quick and easy DIY thing kind of continues straight over to the RGB LEDs. I'm not going to show you it all lit up and that kind of a thing. I just want to show the connectability so that it's super fast, everybody's happy. I'm going to do some other videos later on down the road that will show you how to connect the RGB LEDs, how they work, possibly even start getting into the programming of LED blinky and a couple other things. But right now it's just kind of an overview of how easy these products are to kind of use together and as well as apart. So this RGB LED setup will work if you don't have an RGB LED blinky from Ultimarc, but you'll have to kind of cut all the harnesses and do something else, set it up to a different controller and make it work that way. Either way, it will work. They're all set up that way. So this here is an upgrade to the Ultimarc J-Stick. Basically, it's a new shaft. The reason being for that is it's enclosed with the RGB lights and stuff. So you've got a RGB LED at the top, super bright, and then on the bottom you have a 3.5 millimeter kind of like an audio jack. So basically you would take your existing shaft out of the J-Stick, drop it in, replace it with this one, put a new snap ring on it, and then you get your kind of translucent ball top, screw it on, covers your and protects your LED, RGB LED, and then you've got to get a wire harness with it as well, and it has that 3.5 millimeter jack on the other end. Pop it in, get the click, good to go. Then this goes into the Ultimate I/O board. This is an iPack, I know, I'm just using it for example, and it would just plug onto your pins like so, and good to go. Now there'll be 4 spots like that on the Ultimate I/O board, and then or your LED blinky or any LED controller board that you'll get from Ultimarc will all have this kind of pinout set up, and it'll all have space for these types of products that they carry. And it'll even say like joystick 1, 2, 3, and 4, depending on how much it'll actually allow for it. So that's just the quick connectability of that I wanted to show. I'm going to move on to the fun stuff. So we've got the U-Trak light gun from Ultimarc. Now this one here, as you heard it click, it does have the recoil in it. You can get it with or without. I think it's like 50 bucks extra to get it with the recoil. Reason being, it comes with a different cord that has to have a different power outlet to go to it as well with the USB, and it also has a solenoid that's built inside of it here to give it that click, and that it gives an actual feel of a recoil a little bit. So basically when you pull the trigger you get that. So as you can see, because I'm just holding the gun when I'm doing it, it doesn't actually have the slide. That's a little bit of a disappointment, but at the same time that's a whole bunch of other stuff that could go wrong with it for home personal use. The last thing you want to do is be fixing stuff like this all the time and whatever. So this one's pretty bulletproof. It's pretty good. It's probably one of the best ones on the market for any personal type of use or that type of thing. I won't even bother carrying anything else. I've found a couple things that weren't that great. They're just kind of like mods of Wii and that kind of a thing. So basically this here, you got your right and left mouse button as well as your trigger works as your right mouse button, and this thing will just like, so if you get to time crisis or something like that and you want to give her, you're good to go. You'll be able to shoot all day long with this thing, and it just gives it a ton of fun. It is personal preference though, whether you want to go with a recoil upgrade or not. Some people just loved and have to have that sound. Some people just want to have the gun. It'd be quiet and all that stuff with nothing if you did it without. Now with that being said, you can also buy the recoil kit afterwards. You do need to know how to solder, and they are a little bit of a pain in the butt to add that recoil kit on, and it works out to about 60 bucks or more to add it on after the fact. So you might want to, figure out what you want before you actually go and buy one of these here. They come in 3 different colors. It's black, red, and blue. It literally took me less than five minutes to hook this thing up. I went to the Ultimarc website. I downloaded the software for this. It took 2.5 minutes. I plugged it in, read the instructions. It basically said hold the trigger down at 2 to 3 feet away from the monitor for 5 seconds. Once that happens, the cursor will start going up to your left or your right, and it'll start flashing. You want to aim at it, shoot it. It'll go to the next corner, start flashing, shoot it. It'll go down to the bottom in the center, and it'll go up and down, shoot it. Or shoot it, then it'll go up, then it'll come down, flash again, shoot it. I think you got to do that 3 or 4 times, and then all of a sudden, bam, your gun's calibrated and you're ready to rock. So it doesn't get much more simplistic than that. I couldn't stress it enough. Ultimarc puts out a really good product. Andy there's a really good guy, and he supports his products unbelievably huge. So the only other thing with this gun, the only downside to it is you have to buy a power supply. Andy at Ultimarc doesn't supply those. You have to buy them separately. It is like a 36 volt power supply, so it's a little awkward and odd to find. We do carry them once in a while, and when we can find them, we bring them in. So yeah, feel free. If you want to come by, check out our website and see some of the other products we have. And hopefully you guys will look forward to some other videos that we have showing you in-depth kind of synopsis of the way these boards and parts and stuff like that work. I'll kind of break them down into individual things and do a little bit longer videos and stuff. But for now, just a quick, simple plug and play.